All right. Okay, so Patrick Rothfuss, the name of the wind. Man, what a book. I love this book. I didn't think I was gonna love this book. I kind of had a feeling that I would think maybe it's kind of mediocre, but overall, that was wrong. I love this book. I think it's great. I don't think it's perfect. There's some stuff at the end, some fluff at the end. I imagine I'll get into that I didn't like, but overall, it's a great book. Cool story, great idea, great characters. Interesting third person, first person narrative. It's just fun to listen to, or fun to read from a sort of a university environment. Uh, you know, the story of Quoth as well. What happens, I thought was interesting. The world, which was kind of surprising, how attached I certainly was to the world and how interesting the world is, the people, the history. What little you got, but it really does feel like a vibrant, alive world. Uh, yeah, I think this is a pretty cool book. I understand why people love it so much. I guess I can understand why people are upset there hasn't been another one in 14 years. Uh, but yeah, I think this is a great book. You know, I think what Patrick does quite well is, well, definitely a lot of different things. One, I think characterization. I think he does very good characterization. I think all the characters are great. I don't think there's any, excuse me, I don't think there's any like issue with his portrayal. There wasn't moments where I was thinking like, hey, this is just bad. Like, I don't find this believable. Is this really human? I think there's quite a bit of scope. Some cool characters. Obviously, Quoth is an interesting character. You can't deny that. But Eladin, certainly Ori or Ari, I don't know how to pronounce. Some of the other masters, Lauren, Dal, whoever, Kilvin. But even some of the minor characters, Manet or Mine, I don't know. But yeah, no, very good characters. Uh, he's a pretty good writer. I would say it's a combination of just sort of I wouldn't call it poppy prose, but very modern prose with some interesting descriptions as well. It's a bit of a mix. Um, I thought that's pretty cool. What else? Oh gosh. Overall, I thought the plot was good. Um, a bit of fluff and whatnot, and some bad at the end that I didn't like, but overall, it was a cool book. It's interesting to read. It's fun to read. I found myself burning through it quite quickly. Um, yeah, it's just a cool book. I definitely look forward to reading the other one. Yeah, it's a cool book. Yeah, so a little bit of the bad. I'm going to get into some of the details here. So obviously, if you don't want to hear it, but this book's been out forever. So I'd say some of the bad. It's mostly sort of at the last third or fourth, depending. But I would say what I don't like about this book is Denna. And not that she's badly portrayed or I don't find it believable. I think that there's sort of this adventure at the end with the Dracus in the town and him saving everybody in this fucking wheel and whatnot, and this resin and her getting high as shit. I kind of felt that that's one of the areas of fluff, and it's a pretty couple 150 pages. I don't know. It's that whole story going out there, what happens with the wedding and whatnot. It's not bad. Certainly parts of it were fun to read, but I just kind of felt that it was just sort of at times it was bad, and then sometimes it was just mediocre. And I just thought, like, what is the point of all this? And that's was probably my big one of the big criticisms is that there's some parts, particularly in that part of the book, where I thought, does this need to be here? Obviously, it's his choice, and he's the author, and he can do what the hell he wants. But I just, as a from more of a storyteller's perspective, like, does this need to be here, and why is this here? And I just felt that like that whole escapade and that whole adventure maybe two other scenes that happened before that, I just sort of questioned, like, why does this have to be in the book? And I felt that, the best parts of this book are, quite frankly, um, well, I guess the rest of it, but the best part of the book. But I felt that the majority of the story, let's call it that, the majority of the story, in my opinion, is clearly Quoth's time at the university, right? Him getting there, him paying for things, him surviving, him learning, the experience there. And I just felt that this funny little escapade that he goes off and kills this fucking thing and spends some time with Denna. It's not badly written, but the entire time I just thought, like, this is, again, parts of it were kind of bad, or they're just sort of mediocre. And I thought, does this really need to be here? And I obviously think no. And I think that part of the story would have, or that many pages of this book, and that part of that many pages of this book could have contributed more to his time at the university and developing more of that. And I think that would have been better and more interesting, and sort of, quite frankly, less of Denna, because there is a point where there's a lot more of Denna, and then there's the huge chunk with this escapade, and then she's sort of gone again. And I felt that, I think that, that it's not bad. Certainly the portrayal of their, like, very bizarre and, worthless, if you call it a relationship, is good. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, from sort of a human perspective. It's very believable, but I just feel that it could be less. And I think that would be better for, like, the whole story, and be better for even the reader's perspective of what's happening as well. And I just think it's just too much of Denna. It would be better if there was a bit less and it happened in a different way. And that's probably my main, the main criticism of this book is just a little too much of Denna. When I feel that, like, up until, let's say, 2/3 of the book, I thought it was very well done. It's very well portrayed, this, young man discovering himself and discovering, romance and desire, but not really, at the same time, understanding, vulnerability, and then understanding, health and positive relationships, right? Because this woman clearly is quite questionable, and really isn't the sort of person you would want to start a romance with. But it's that's life, and that's the portrayal of this book. So, yeah. Anyways, a bit less of Denna, but well done, clearly. Gosh, I do like the inn. Now that I'm thinking about this chronicler and Bast, and just the funny townsfolk. It is sort of an interesting location, certainly. Love the inn, love the university, even love the town. Imre, I don't know, Imra. I pronounce it Imra, I think, in my head. Imra, I think it's that. Yeah. But even Tarbin as well earlier, or Tarbin, I can't remember. Yeah, he's got a good imagination. You can't deny that. Very interesting imagination. Yeah. Anything else, really? Yeah, I can just wrap it up there. Yeah. Anyways, cool book. It's an amazing book. Not perfect, but really cool book. I understand why people love it. Surprisingly, I really love this book. I didn't think I would, but I do. Totally recommend. Regardless if he ever finishes, it doesn't fucking matter. It's still a fun read. And yeah, I guess God bless Mr. Rothfuss. May he heal and do whatever the hell he needs to do to release another book. All right, peace out.